Guys, I know what it's like. I've been there too. You're sat at your gig, you're watching your guitarist absolutely shred solo after solo like he's summoned his inner Slash, and your vocalist is doing some incredible runs that you've never heard before, and you're there feeling like you're stuck playing the same go-to fills gig after gig. Well, no more my friends, because today I've got a drum fill for you that you can actually use in your everyday playing. So stick around and let's have some fun with this one. Hi guys and girls, I'm Jack from Jack Pryor Drums, and with me I have one almighty fill that you can actually use in your everyday playing, that won't get you fired when you whip it out at your next gig. Okay, I might have lied a little bit. What I've actually got for you is two fills. You see, the pattern I'm about to show you can be split straight down the middle and used as either a 1 measure fill or a 2 measure fill. It's totally up to you. What's more is that it's really easy to orchestrate around the kit, and it builds your left hand ghosted doubles. It's like there's nothing this fill can't do. So without further ado, here's what you have to know. The whole pattern is 32 notes, so it's 16th notes all the way through. And what's more is this fill is linear, so it sounds really clean and awesome, and also you only have to worry about one limb at a time. The first half of the pattern, or the first fill, depending on how you want to use it, is a simple right, left kick, right, left kick, right, left, left kick, right, left. So let's see how that sounds on its own on the snare drum at 60 and 100 BPM. Now the target speed for this fill is 150 plus BPM, but I urge you to start off slow and build that muscle memory and absolutely nail those ghost notes before trying to crank up the dial. Now once you are comfortable with that sticking pattern, you can start to orchestrate things around the kit a little bit more. Now this is where I'd encourage you to really have a play and find out what works for you. Half of the fun in creating these fills is figuring out where to place things to make the whole thing sound awesome in your particular context. That said, what I'm about to show you is what I feel is a good orchestration to really bring out the various elements of this fill. So let's have a look at that orchestration at 60 and 100 BPM. Now before we move on to the second half of the pattern, it's worth noting that as this is the fill that keeps on giving, the entire thing can really easily be transcribed into a 16th note triplet fill. And that happens to be the topic for next week's lesson, so make sure you're subscribed for that. Now if you did want to use that first half of the pattern as just a 1 measure fill on its own, all you have to do is replace the final left-handed ghosted note with a regular or an accented note, and you're good to go. But if you are up for the full 32 note lick, then all you have to do to start off the second half is repeat the final 4 notes from the first half twice over. So that's left kick, right left kick, right left, followed by a right left kick kick, right left. So let's hear how just that second half of the fill sounds on its own on the snare drum at 60 and 100 BPM. Now, two things to note about that particular phrase. The first being the crescendo that I have personally orchestrated on the high tom, which you'll hear in a moment. However, I'd really encourage you to have a play with the positioning of that crescendo to find out what works for you and what the song that you're playing this lick in really calls for. After all, in a band setting, playing musically is super important, so don't necessarily stick to my orchestration if you feel there'll be something better to suit the song that you're working on. That said, orchestrating it on the high tom I find is more anticipative, and it leaves space for the final 6 notes of the fill to really round things off nicely. Now, the second thing to note is that this phrase actually starts on a left-handed ghosted note, which might feel a little bit unnatural to begin with, but rest assured, after a bit of practice, it will start clicking into place. And more importantly, when we glue on the first half of the fill that we learned earlier, this will actually form part of a left-handed ghosted double, which will feel much more natural and much more in line with what the rest of the fill is doing. As with the first part, once you are comfortable with the sticking pattern, you can begin to orchestrate things around the kit. Now again, I urge you to have a play with the orchestration and don't necessarily settle for what I'm about to show you. However, let's have a look at my preferred orchestration at 60 and 100 BPM. Once you have that down, you can take the original measure that we learned earlier, append it to the front of this measure, and then you have the full 32 note lick. So let's hear what the full thing sounds like at 60 and 100 BPM. Once you start to get comfortable playing the full 32 note fill, I encourage you to play along with this video and fill in the gaps that I've left for you between the fills to figure out the context of the fill and how to get in and out of it in your particular playing style. In the meantime, here's a groove that I've put together to demonstrate exactly that. And that's it. You now have all you need to master a fill or two that you can actually use in your everyday playing. I really hope you find that useful and that you can find a spot for it in your everyday drumming vocabulary. If you did enjoy this video, remember to drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and remember to ring that little bell so you're the first to be notified when new content's available. Apart from that, I'll see you on the next one.